Welcome to Small Business Big Visibility. This week we are so fortunate to have Donovan with us. He is the founder of the Lawn Dogs, but Donovan's got a great story. His very first business started at age 6, and he's not stopped since. Tell us about yourself.
I am Donovan. I'm actually the co-owner of the Lawn Dogs. It was officially started by my now 14-year-old son when he was 10, coming on 11. And he wanted a side gig to make some money when COVID come through. So this kind of what he started doing and wanted to do, and through those efforts and talking and doing what he needed and helping him, it became an official business, which became my full
your
thing.
11-year-old wanted some money, and you said, let me introduce you to running your own business.
To work ethic, yeah. Let's go.
Excellent. Way to be the father that takes and not only is saying, here's what you should do, but let me show you. And you took it to the extreme, because now this is how you're making your money too, right?
Yeah, it was something that was a beautiful thing that we could do together, and we still talk about all the time, so that I can show by example, like, this is how you commit to something and you work through the processes and the struggles. When you hit a roadblock, how do you overcome that?
Excellent.
And every time you learn something new, how do you then go back and implement those changes to your new normal?
Wow. What an opportunity his son has for the last 3 years to be partnering in this business with you. I mean, what an education for him to be receiving.
I love it. And he's such a great kid.
So you've been doing the lawn dog business. And what else? Tell us some more of your story.
Oh my gosh. Working in reverse. So I had the Lawn Dogs. Pre-COVID, I owned a local a vape business. So we had the Volt Vapes. I had a couple of retail locations here, 20 plus employees. Was phenomenal business to be a part of as an alternative nicotine delivery system. It went more into a niche that I wasn't comfortable with, so I sold that off.
Oh, okay.
But before that, I've been doing side hustles all my life.
Tell us about it.
So, you'd mentioned when I was 6, my brother, I have an older brother, who's very much a grinder and hustler. We started doing golf balls by a golf course.
Oh, gotcha,
so
right.
we would go find all the golf balls, find all the numbers, do bounce tests, and give them ratings, and then sell those back to golfers.
The perfect business for a kid.
If we wanted comic books, you wanted candy, you had to buy it yourself. So all the way through from as a child to current, it's if you want it, you got to find a way to go and get it.
Now, have you ever worked in the corporate world, though?
I did.
Tell us about that.
I got in the early 90s, got it, went to college, wanted to be my goal at 18 was to be middle management.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, how great would that be? I don't want to be at the bottom of the totem pole. I don't want to be on the top of the totem pole, so let's go middle. And
so you were aiming to be pointy hair boss on Dilbert. Nice. I love it.
So I started administrative, got up, went back to school in my late 20s because I discovered that being an admin wasn't really fun for middle management. So I wanted to have a little more profit margin in my management. So I got a CNSIT degree, got a job at Apple for a while in California. That moved me up here to Idaho in 2003, and worked at Apple through all the layoffs in 2008, 2009, and absolutely ate my soul, saying yes to the man. So I'm down with the man. No, I'm just kidding. But had an opportunity through all of that to buy into my former in-laws business, and which was a beer and tobacco business. So got into that and decided that small business ownership was going to be who I am. I embraced the thoughts of my individuality, and I like that how I could implement that into the business with the vibe and working with the customers and working with the employees and making decisions on how do things look, how do things flow, why the price points. Those for me, what's that? The je ne sais quoi of the decision.
That's what gets you up in the morning. Is the opportunity to solve that, right?
Yeah.
So you've been small business owner. You've worked for massive corporations. You're now partnering with your son. Taking all of that, age 6 on forward, what would you say is most important? Like, you've been across the spectrum. What makes life most important for you? How do you see the world?
I see the world through individual lens. I think the greatest part of being a small business owner is in that I can be who I am and direct that into my business. And I think as a small business, that's what sets all the small businesses apart, and what makes us different than big business, is that we can be us and our morals and ethics and how we decide to run our day-to-day lives, which will directly reflect upon our structure of our industry that we're playing in. And then customers and clients can see that and choose to be a part of that with us and allow us to be a part of them.
So tell us more about the Lawn Dogs. What is it you do? What are your services and offerings?
So we are the Lawn Dogs Pet Waste Management Services. What we are is your friendly neighborhood pooper scooper. What we work with and for clients who have dogs, obviously. And we alleviate that chore that really no one wants to do.
Gotcha. Very cool. Which is perfect for an 11 to 14-year-old boy, right?
Yeah, it's a great way when you're too small to push a lawnmower, but you still want to make that money. There's an opportunity to get out there and provide a very valuable service to people. And at any age, you can physically do it. So
right,
it's that attention to detail.
Sure. So what is one of your biggest successes that you've accomplished, or something that's really meant a lot to you in this business, in Lawn Dogs? Now, you've obviously run a lot, and we can touch on others later, but I'd love to hear in the Lawn Dogs world, what's been a win?
I think my biggest win is, I've had a ton of wins. We went from literally just doing a handful of neighbors' houses to it's a full-time job for me now, and where we're actually hiring and bringing people on board.
Congratulations. That's a huge transition to making a business.
I mean, I've done it in the past. I've led teams in corporate, but taking something like this and growing it and starting to, like, from a father and son to now bringing people in, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, I had never thought 4 years ago, that this would be like a thing. So the success of taking something with my boy and being able to see the structure of it build and make errors and then come back and fix and go again. The success of just us being able to be a part of that together is that's for me the biggest thing.
Oh yeah, I bet. Now, what advice would you give to other business owners, small business owners, entrepreneurs? You do an amazing job of being able to balance this work and your family. What advice would you give people on that front?
That's the secret sauce of all of it. For me, and how I look at the world, is I have my top goal, which is to be a good dad, and I need to be true to me so that I can be a good dad, and I need to be true to my customers so that I can be a good dad. So for me, that balancing act is, how do I become the man that I want to be for him so that he can see what it's like to be a man, and to be an individual and a person, regardless of gender. But I strive every day to be that example. So all of the things that I do and all the pieces of my life that touch it are filtered through that process.
Wow. So a ton of introspection to make sure that you're being your best you then. So with all this vast years of experience in the business world, what strategies or what tactics or what have you found that really works?
Oh my gosh. I wish I had a good answer for that, because all of them do and none of them do.
Okay.
I have found, so something I've learned in the last 6 months of being a small business owner and with the intentful business owner. 2024, my life was about intent.
Okay.
I chose to dedicate myself to achieving the goals. So my intentful actions were to understand more than just how do I do this business well, but how do I do all business well. For me, the strategy was to allow myself to be vulnerable with who I am, where I have weaknesses and where I have strengths, and to accept all of them. And then to address how do I bring in people to help build my weak spots? So being vulnerable with other business owners through different networking ventures that I've gone on, and to be able to absorb from them to influence how do I make these decisions to be better so that I can be that existence.
So it sounds like the biggest secret that you found is identifying the weak spots internally so those can become strengths.
Yeah, weak spots are strengths when you know how and what and why it's weak, and what you can do. Because when I know that this spot is not good or can be better, I can grow that part of it. And in bringing in assistance, and that's great. I love it, because now my business and my life gets better because I was able to identify and bring others on.
I like that. So many small business owners that I've talked to over the years will say something like, "Oh, I just wish I could hire 4 of me."
Oh man, I do not want 4 of me.
Yeah, I hear you saying the exact opposite. You're saying there's enough of me. I need some other people with other skills.
Right. If I had 4 of me, that would just be chaos.
So advice that you'd give a small business owner that's getting started, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, for one, believe in yourself. Find the why. For me was, or to be the dad that I wanted to be, and then balance everything off of that, and be willing to constantly change your direction to get to there. Just because you hit a roadblock in the road doesn't mean that's the only way to go. So you can still have that objective and those goals, but there's always another direction to take.
Window closed, door open, door closes, window opens.
Yep. Sometimes you just got to plow through it too. I mean,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
But
Now you've run various businesses, various team sizes. I'd like to get your take on this because I've not heard a lot of other people talk to this point, but in the business world, it seems like they say, as your business grows, you do more of the same. But in my mind, it seems a little different. When you're starting out, there's some very basic things you need. You need a customer. Then you need 2 customers. Then you need 3. But as you grow, your business shifts and your needs shift and the approach and the tactics shift. Is that what you've seen?
100%. And this goes back to the whole knowing where your strengths and the weaknesses lie. Because as I'm growing, the people I'm associating with are the people who can help fill that weak spot for me. I don't have to be every brick of my business. So as I get to that stage where now I've got 1 customer, 2 customer, 3 customer, and I can bring on an employee, but I could also bring on a consultant who can help with SEO, or who can help SOPs, or who could help with any one piece, safety structures, my CRM side. So I want to actively find someone to take that off of my plate, because where I'm good at is not those things.
Sure.
So I'm hurting my business over the long run by not surrendering that piece to someone who can do it better.
That's amazing. So what advice, words of wisdom, or encouragement do you have for our listeners today?
Oh, man. Do it. Don't be afraid. If you've got that thought and that want and you have that fire in you, find the thing that feeds that fire and go. Coax it, work it, and make a good plan. Because you don't want to ever play with fire without a good idea about it. But man, do it.
Yeah. So just go after your dreams. Chase it.
With a passion.
Yeah. And one thing that I've noticed about you, and I've known you for years now, is I have yet to ever see you in a room and frown. You're always smiling, always upbeat, always happy. How do you manage, because you hit roadblocks, every business does.
Yeah.
How do you manage, what is your secret to be the guy who's always going to put that smile on, even when you don't feel like smiling on the inside?
So life is way too good to allow a lot of that negativity to weigh you down. I love having challenges. I thrive in the roadblock world because I know there's a way around it. I may not have the answer to it, but I'm also willing to check in with other people to find a different way. And I get the opportunity every day to be me, and to be a business owner, and to be a friend, and to find ways to succeed. My goals are always my goals. I want to be the world's greatest dad. I got a little mug that says I'm the world's greatest dad. I have to live up to that. So I have that plugged up in my mind every day. And I get the opportunity all the time to chase after things that stoke my fire and get me going.
So was that natural your whole life? Were you born that way? Are you the one of magical unicorns here in this world?
I accept it. I adopted this philosophy when I was in my 20s. Uh-huh. There is no chance in this world that I am truly unique. If I have a thought, someone else has already had that thought. Mm-hmm. I may be the second or third person to have that thought. Therefore, I could always check with somebody else who's already been there. I don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Oh, nice.
That's not required. I can still play in the world and have my unique spin on it. But like it's cool that I'm moving that direction. So as a kid, I've always marching to the beat of your own drum, man. I have always marched to the beat of my own drum. Yep. The music and the theme songs and the stuff in my head. I embrace that's how I'm made. So rock it with it.
That is an amazing mindset, but it's even more amazing that you're able to take and exhibit that to the world, because so much of the world tells us you need to fit in this box. Social media media says you have to always be this thing. You have to be this, you have to be this, you have to be this. Which one of these are you? And then fit yourself in that box and always present that way. So, like, how do you manage that world?
I tell this to everybody. When I was 15 years old, my mom gave me $100 and said, "Hey, go buy your own clothes for school this year." Like, she's not going to pick them for me. I was 15. I had the right to buy all of my clothes with that $100 bill.
Nice.
No, I'm not young, but I'm not old. In 1989, Z Cavaricci pants was like the brand. So I took my $100 and I bought a pair of $70 pants.
Wow.
One pair of the brand pants, which left me $30, if we do the simple math on that, for all of the rest of my clothes for the rest of the year. And I bought a couple of shirts, and I realized really quickly that I just didn't have enough to afford the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And I just went, trying to fit in and trying to get the right things to be a part of the community wasn't valuable to me. I didn't have the happiness of the things I wanted because I bought things that my classmates wanted to see. Right. And I just decided then and there that was not worth it. Mm-hmm. Me being a part of what you expect will never make me happy. And it's a chase I never want to chase because I like who I am. Mm-hmm. So I'd much rather just chase me being a better me.
Sure. And the wisdom of your mom. You gave you $100 and said,
you go do it. Yeah. You fail on your own. Make the choice that you need to make.
Learn some life lessons here, son.
Yeah, man. In a 45-day period, I was like, this, okay.
Then you probably had to go find a hustle so you could afford enough pants for school. And has that helped or hindered your business?
Yes.
Yes.
But you have to be willing to accept that. It helps me be me and authentically me. Mm-hmm. And some people may not like that. But you know what's awesome? Some people may not like that.
That's right.
Great. I love being a part of this in the Poop Scoop world. I'm social with almost every Poop Scoop person I could find.
Sure.
Because we all do things differently.
Yep.
And if you don't like the way I run my business or the way I scoop or the way I present because of me, awesome. There's like 15 other people. Like, let me introduce you to like a handful of others who I like.
Yep.
Because it's worth it. And there's so many people who have needs in this world, and they have the drive to connect with other businesses. Connect away.
Yeah.
The more we all do good business, the more we're all good, the more we're all living the lives we're wanting to live under our terms.
Right.
So
it's so amazing to me that you've discovered that and have exploited it, because so many business owners I've met will say, "Oh no, I need anyone that wants the poop scooped in their yard. That's my ideal customer." And you're saying, no, there's a higher way of doing this. There's enough customers out there. There's enough different personalities. You as a business owner don't have to be the perfect fit for all of them. And all the customers aren't a perfect fit for you.
Exactly.
And being able to identify and say, no, you're better for this company, and you're better for this company, and you're a great customer for me. Everyone will be happier because you make that distinction.
Yeah. And it's so, I'll say time and time again, man, I love that we get to inject who we are through our businesses so that people can connect with that. And that's really, at the end of the day, what all this is we're all, as clients, as customers, as business owners, as individuals, we're all touching each other and helping each other grow, or if you want to be a negative aspect, helping, putting other people down. It's worth it to make those connections, and all of our lives get better because of it.
Sounds like you're a huge proponent of networking then.
Yeah. In the 80s and 90s, and as social media developed, I despise social media. I despise networking. It was all high school cafeteria, junior high school cafeteria. I hated it. But as an adult and I've definitely matured in the last handful of years, finally, that ability to talk, and I said it before, vulnerably, to allow the things I'm insecure about to be at the surface along with everything else, and to purposefully network and to intentionally network with other people who are safe to be around.
Yeah.
Is critical. Just like with your friend groups and everybody else, who you engage with is so important to who you are as a person. Keeping a robust group of people who believe in you, that you can believe in, and to allow those thoughts and those emotions and those challenges to be a part of everyone is super important. And it just serves to enrich you, just like eating your vegetables with your potatoes and your steak.
Yeah. I've heard it said that if you want to see how people view you, look at the people that you associate with and see how you view them. And once you recognize that, then it becomes critical networking, because you want to associate yourself with those kinds of people.
Yes.
And so it's critical to network, but it's critical to network with the right people.
Yeah. I like the way you say it better.
Yeah, I love networking, but like you say, it has to be authentic. It can't be this phony baloney putting on the $70 pants just to impress.
Right. No, I can't, because you don't get the value out of it.
Right.
It's one thing to be seen, but it's nothing to be enriched. And I want that connection. I strive to make every day matter in that world.
Yeah.
So that everything we do, just you leave that day with everything on the table, and you walk away with such a better feeling in life.
Yeah, when you're networking to authentically help others and to authentically give and to authentically share who you are, I find that it's wildly successful. And when you're networking to make sure everyone sees that you're wearing the Rolex and the cufflinks, then it's a miserable place to be.
100%. No, I enjoy a lot of the groups that I've gotten to play with in this last, especially about 6 months. For me, as when I turned that corner and kind of realized what all of this networking part is and how I feel when I contribute. Now, there's been groups where I've contributed, and nothing came back. That law of reciprocity, there was nothing there. But that group that wasn't, they were looking to take, not to give.
Yeah.
So being in groups where everyone's pitching in, and it's not about what I get out of it, because what I get out of it is that plugging in that helps me be a better person. But the referrals, the giving information, that just comes with being in that right group to share and to be vulnerable and to have those moments.
Definitely. Donovan, thank you so much for being on Small Business Big Visibility today. I've really enjoyed this conversation. It's been a ton of fun. Where can our listeners get in touch with you? How would they find you?
You can find me at thelawndogs.com. On social medias, I want to say it's Your Lawn Dogs. Facebook, Instagram, what's that? The TikTok.
The tiki-talkie.
However many days that's around for. Reach out, hit us up, let us know if you have a need or if you know someone who has a need. We're happy to help.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Small Business Big Visibility. I'd love it if you'd share this episode with any other business owners that could benefit from the wisdom of Donovan. And also, please subscribe so you don't miss any of our episodes. Thank you so much. And until next time, keep networking and watch your business thrive.